now, please. Okay, it's been a long while since you've actually done this project. So I would highly suggest that you go back to your initial designs. Now, you should have your designs in your books. If you don't have them, you must remember that you are making a Yinka Ilori inspired clock. So I don't want to start seeing Manchester United, Manchester City clocks, even though they're terrible teams. I don't want to see that. I want to see Yinka Ilori clocks. Now, I haven't got one in front of me here, but I'm going to be using this semicircle here as a part of my design. So if I was to make this completely circular, if you have a compass, brilliant. You can use a compass from the middle and get a circle in. Now, if you don't have a compass, what do you do? So what I'm going to do is this, okay? So if you want a circle, I'm going to split the box up a bit like you do with a pizza. So there we go. I should have 8 slices there. Now, if I want a semicircle, I know I have to hit that point there and that point there. Same here. So that has to go there. That has to go there. And it will hit about 3/4 here, 3/4 there. Now, a nice little tip for you, because we are doing this freehand, if you were doing a proper orthographic drawing, you'd have a compass, you'd have all the tools. But to practice your freehand sketching, there's a few tips that I would like to give you. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to use the hinge of our wrist to be able to create that curve. So you can see that the wrist curves naturally. Okay, so the wrist curves naturally here. So all I'm going to do is place my pencil at the top, curve around like so. Then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. And that natural curve that you've got with your wrist should give you a semicircle there. Now, it's not perfect. I'm not saying that it's absolutely brilliant, but that would give you a nice curve there. If you've got a full circle, you do exactly the same thing at the bottom, all the way around. I would like you now to start your design, making sure that if we split this in half, it looks the same on both sides. So try it freehand, like so. Freehand like so. Hitting the top point and the side points. The teacher's now going to pause the video for you to be able to do that. Okay, now your design is starting to take shape. Now, the design I'm going to go for here is what he's got actually hidden in this feature here. They look like a little ice cream. So I'm going to put a little cone at the bottom of mine. This one, I want my cone to meet up here. And what I'm going to do is use my ruler again. Line across. Line across, and then I can start adding some extra features. So these like rainbow shapes here, I quite like them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure across, and I'm going to think, right, how big do I want that arc to be? Well, I'll probably go to there and counting in from here to there, counting down to there, and I'm going to do the same thing again, using that natural arc of my wrist to curve, just going back and forth until it looks right. Turning the page around. Don't be afraid to turn the page as well. Spin it around as much as you want to try and get that curve. Again, doesn't look absolutely perfect, but it's okay for now. Okay, now, once you've got your entire design there, and remember, you are not copying my design, you are using your designs. You should have your designs in your books. What you then need to do is to start adding some extra bits, okay? So you need to start telling me, what's the length of this? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to use my ruler, and I've got it going up to 117 is what I've got here. No, 107, sorry. Oh, almost made a mistake myself there. So that's 10.7 centimeters or 107 millimeters. That is going to be exactly the same. So that's 107 millimeters. I might need to know what the gap here is. So the top here, it says that it's 20 mil. So from here to here, it's 20. And everywhere that you can add an extra bit of measurement would help the designer greatly. So looking at this isn't a full circle, therefore the radius of mine is 55. So I'm going to just put a line in here, like so, and the radius is 55, and all I do is write down R55. If you want to say how big the hidden feature is, that's 55. That's 55. The more information that you provide for the engineer, the easier it is for them to produce this product. Okay, so any extra features that you are adding, you might have something that looks like a flower. You might have some circles in there. What's the diameter of them? What's the radius of them? Anything that you have, please add it in. Okay, final thing from me. Your teacher will pause the video once I have explained the next bit. So now we know that we need to create this design. We need to make it to size and actually add all the measurements that we have on there as well. Now, if you have anything that you want to add that's outside the size of this, so for example, if you want a flower, for example, so a big circle here and something that comes out, that is absolutely fine. You can add the petals to this, even if it goes over the 15 by 15 card. What we'll then give you is thinner card for you to stick on top. So if you've got something here and it needs to come out, then we'll give you another card, you stick on top of it, and you could do it that way. However, I am sticking with this, but let's say that it was a little bit more like a ice cream. I might be able to add a flake in there, like so. Now that obviously goes outside the 15 by 15, so I would then get another piece of card and I would just stick it on. Any features that goes outside of the box is absolutely fine if you can actually get it to fit all together. Now you will also notice that with my clock, I haven't put any numbers. You do not have to have numbers on a clock, okay? If you want some indication, you can put dots like so. So that would be 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now to anybody that can read an analog watch, that is enough. Okay, you don't have to have numbers on there. It's up to you. If you want the numbers, add the numbers. That's absolutely fine. But in my eyes, I think it's aesthetically displeasing to have the numbers in there. I think it takes away from the design or away from Yinke Lori's inspiration. So for me, I'm just going for these dots. If you want to do the same, go ahead. If you prefer numbers, go ahead. It is your design at the end of the day. Please make sure that you complete this page in its entirety before you start making your product.